Ladies and gentlemen, it's your one and only real estate agent, Anthony E. Crawford, with Keller Williams Atlanta Perimeter, 404-988-8135. Feel free to call or text me with your real estate related questions. Now, typically, I'm not the one to go back and forth on social media, um, debating issues and things of that nature, because what I've learned is that a lot of people don't know the difference between fact and opinion, right? However, there's this one debate that I see time and time again, and I feel like, okay, if there's ever a debate that I should weigh in on, it's this one. So I'm going to give my professional opinion, which is based on facts. And that debate is the renting versus owning debate, okay? Renting versus owning your own home. And I see a lot of different takes on this debate. And typically, the one that I see the most is renting outweighs owning, because you have maintenance and you have someone else that's responsible for the upkeep and repair of the house. And while upkeeping and maintaining a home is a responsibility, and it can sometimes be a financial responsibility, ultimately, in my professional opinion, owning trumps renting each and every time, for the simple fact of equity. Okay, equity, equity, equity. You will never get equity renting, ever. As a matter of fact, you're paying your landlord equity when you rent. Okay, so what is equity? I'm glad you asked. So, for the purpose of this example, you've purchased a house for $300,000, right? You've signed a 30-year mortgage. So, in 30 years, you're going to pay off a home for $300,000, right? So it's safe to deduce that every 10 years, right, you pay $100,000. 10, 20, 30, 100, 200, $300,000, okay? So let's say after 10 years, you've paid a third of that house off. So you've paid $100,000 off, right? So you owe $200,000, okay? And let's say in those 10 years, the neighborhood has improved. There are new restaurants and shops and parks and things of that nature. And now your home is worth $400,000 after 10 years, right? Because you've been paying your mortgage every month and you've paid it down $100,000 in 10 years. So you owe $200,000, but while you were paying it down, your home was actually increasing in value. So now it's worth $400,000, right? You owe $200,000, the home is worth $400,000. There's a $200,000 gap, right, between that 2 and that 4. That $200,000 is called equity, okay? And the best thing about equity is you can borrow against it. Banks will actually loan you money based on your equity. You only receive equity when you are paying a mortgage, thus when you own your home. You will never, ever, ever receive equity renting, okay? Now, in this scenario, you have $200,000 worth of equity. What can you do with $200,000 worth of equity? You can do whatever you want to do with it, because it's your money once the bank loans it to you. Now, keep in mind, it's a loan, so you do have to pay it back. However, if you take that $200,000, or not even the whole 200, let's say you take $100,000 or $50,000, and you use it wisely and you invest, you can really create some wealth. You can really create generational wealth. And I know that's a buzzword, everyone uses it, but you can really create wealth just by buying a home. Just by purchasing your home and paying your mortgage every month, you can create wealth. In that scenario, you have $200,000 worth of equity. Let's say you take $200,000 and you purchase, I don't know, let's say 2 rental properties, okay? Let's say you take $100,000, you put into one rental property, you take $100,000, you put into another rental property. And you're creating passive income, right? So those two properties, with the profit from those two properties, after you pay the mortgage on those two properties, the profit you take and you put towards the home that you live in. So those two properties are paying off the home that you're living in, and you're not having to do anything but keep tenants in the house, right? Or let's say you have kids and you want to send your kids to the best private schools, or you want to send them to college, or you want to take your family on a once in a lifetime vacation. You want to take your entire family on a once in a you can do whatever you want with that equity. However, to get that equity, you first have to purchase a home. You can't create equity, you can't create wealth renting. So in the renting versus owning debate that I see about once a month on social media, owning trumps renting each and every time. And that's your real estate tip for today. Again, I'm Anthony Crawford with Keller Williams Atlanta Perimeter, 404-988-8135. Call, text, any questions you may have. I'm going to do more of these. And I hope you found it insightful. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you learned something. If you did and you want to buy me a cup of Starbucks, shoot me a cash out. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time.